My name is Greg. I recently found myself the other day in a Red Rooster drive-through. Thank you very much. I love to party. And I was in the Red Rooster drive-through and I saw a sign in the drive-through that caught my attention, right? I saw a printed out paper sign in the Red Rooster drive-through that said, and I quote, "Please do not spit or deliberately cough on our staff members." And obviously that had happened to the point that the manager's gone, "All right, fire up the bubble jet, let's put please in front of it, maybe they'll listen, right? Put it in a Comic Sans font, make it fun for them." And I just read that sign, "Please do not spit or deliberately cough on our staff." And I just thought, Jesus Christ, this country is finally back to normal. We're back, baby. We had 2 years of we care about the workers and your mental health. Then it's like, fuck off, pandemic's over. Get back in your fucking chicken hole and cook me some chicken while I spit in your face, you minimum wage fuck. You're lucky you're not a teacher or a nurse or we bash ya. ScoMo's coming back, get 'em. I don't know if those claps are ironic or not. Maybe I'm being somewhat cynical here. All I'm saying is we've had a hard couple of years with the pandemic, in and out of lockdown. All I'm saying is that the 2 years in and out of lockdown is not quite as bad as just any regular job in retail. That's all I'm saying. And it's true. I've had all kinds of shit jobs. I used to work at Kmart. I've been through the lockdown. Kmart was way worse. It wasn't even close. I didn't have to clean up a weird kid's shit once the whole lockdown, right? It's right, I've had all kinds of shit jobs and we felt lonely. We all felt lonely and isolated the whole pandemic. We felt lonely, we felt isolated, but I once had a job where I was working in a call centre, like an entry-level call centre job, and I had to have a meeting with my team leader and the floor manager because they had been timing how long I was spending on the toilet. And we had to have a meeting where together we discussed ways to reduce my toilet time. And that felt very isolating, way more than at any point during the pandemic. I was isolated during the lockdown, but it was more the kind of isolation where I was standing on my kitchen counter, just really, really high on edibles. And I was kind of dancing to the Sopranos theme song while I was holding a stick of salami in my hand, pretending it was a cigar. Just going, "Look, I'm the new Sopranos character, Tony Pepperoni." That's the kind of... all I'm saying is I didn't have to call Lifeline once, But I did call Lifeline the day of my toilet time meeting. I did. I've had heaps of jobs where I called Lifeline that day. You have to. When you're a 31-year-old man having a meeting with your 22-year-old team leader and she's talking about your toilet time and you're sitting there going, "Yeah, I guess I could try some Metamucil." There is no God. Lifeline, help. I need help. And also ban all toilets from workplaces, I reckon. What? It is disgusting. There is a room at your office or your place of work where your co-workers will literally sit next to each other and just do shits. They do shits in the workplace. There's a bit of plywood there, that does nothing. And they're just doing shits next to each other, shitting one after the other. But then they're like, "Oh yeah, but you still gotta wear a tie. You gotta wear a tie." "Oh, have you got that report? Could you put that report on my desk?" It's I've heard what it sounds like when your asshole opens up and shit comes out of it. We're living in a zoo. We're monkeys in a zoo. What was I talking about again? Yeah, so the lockdown, right? The lockdown was the first time in history that I'd seen conservatives and Liberal Party people get on the news and sit there talking about people's mental health, workers' mental health. They're "Oh, mental health, mental health." I've never heard them say the words mental health without putting in front of it, "We need to cut funding too," right? And it was always a boss or a CEO or a big business boy being interviewed going, "Oh, workers, they need to get back into the office. Oh, they love it. Oh, they're like little rats. They need the stimulus. We got to look after them. We got to watch over them. Otherwise, they'll be looking at Kim and Kanye articles on the news.com. They need to get back into the office." I never once heard just a frontline sort of minimum wage, entry-level worker being interviewed about what they thought about, you know, not going to work. Because I think there's a chance they might have gone, oh, I'm getting a disaster payment. Like, I don't have to go to work. No one's spitting in my face. I'm not looking up at the ceiling fan every morning thinking, oh, if I put my hand through the ceiling fan, could I get a day off work? The boss can suck my ass, you know? Like, and I think, like, obviously, you know, it was fucking hard. It was fucking hard during the lockdown. But this concern for our mental health, the Liberal Party, oh, your mental health. Where was their concern for my mental health back when I worked at JB Hi-Fi the year that the Crazy Frog remix came out? Just months of that. I cannot get right since. I can't get my mind right. Where was their concern for my mental health when I worked in a warehouse as a picker-packer with this guy that was obsessed with the movie Cheaper by the Dozen 2? And every day he'd go, hey man, can I just tell you one thing about the movie Cheaper by the Dozen 2? No, Jason, you smell like gravy. Where was your concern for my mental health back that summer when I was painting houses and this one family whose house I was painting, they had 2 young kids, a brother and a sister, and every time the parents left the room, the brother and the sister would start tongue kissing. I was just sitting there like, oh, nah, man, I don't know if I got a duty of care here or I don't want to yuck anyone's yum, but your kids are full kissing, eh? Like, anyway, bring on a new strain, I reckon. Thanks, everybody. I'm Greg. Have a good one.